Hey everyone, today I'm going to be running through some of the choices I made in regard to my dream PC build. Alright, we're going to go through the part list and I'll answer some of your questions from the last video. Let's start with the big ticket items. I went with an i9 12900K for the CPU and the Aorus RTX 3080 Ti for the GPU. While the 13th gen CPUs weren't released yet when I bought this one, I did know that Intel was going to be releasing them within the year or so. Based on what information was available at the time, 13th gen was going to be a good improvement over 12th gen, but the next gen Meteor Lake architecture was going to be significantly better. I basically waited till either I could get a good deal on the 12th gen i9 or until 13th gen released. To support these, I've gone with a Z690 Aorus master motherboard. I did spend a little extra to get the master version of the Aorus Z690 platform. It was honestly about upgradability and compatibility. Living in rentals means my PC configuration changes very often. Sometimes I have Ethernet, sometimes I can only get Wi-Fi. You can find the specs online, but basically, this motherboard met all the requirements that I would need from it now and in the future. Storage-wise, I got a Gen 4 1TB M.2 SSD, along with all my various storage devices from my old PC. Honestly, I just waited for a good deal on something PCIe Gen 4 with 1TB of storage or more. I ended up getting 4 16GB sticks of Corsair 5200MHz DDR5 Vengeance RAM. I probably could have gotten faster RAM, but honestly, I got a killer deal on it. They were like $300 cheaper than all the other DDR5 and my budget was pretty tight at that point. Plus, it's pretty easy to make AMD Expo memory work with Intel. A couple BIOS setting changes and you're pretty much good to go. Powering all this, I went with a Corsair 1000 watt modular PSU. It might be a bit overkill, but it's reliable, made by a reputable brand, and more than enough power for this build. In my experience, power supplies are the one thing you should never cheap out on. They provide stability for the entire rig, and a bad power supply is often fatal to a lot of components. I have wanted a Razer themed case for so long, and when they released the Tomahawk, I basically promised myself that if I was going to put together a new PC, I would have to use this. For cooling, I've got a Cooler Master 360mm AAO bundled with a set of Razer Kunai 120mm and 140mm fans. My original plan was to get the Noctua NHD 15, but I thought I'd try something different and go AIO. The Cooler Master ML360 comes with a good CPU block, strong pump, and a massive radiator. Often this AIO underperforms because of the fans that come stock with it. The Razer Kunai fans are quiet and have high enough performance to make this AIO perform much better. I have the fans running off the Razer PWM fan controller and the Razer Chroma controller. This case has a lot of negative reviews concerning the airflow, but so far I haven't noticed any thermal issues. I didn't want to mess around with RGB bloatware from 5 different brands, so the fact that I can control all my fans and RGB from Synapse is pretty great. I knew I would have it running for all my other gear anyway. If you couldn't tell, I'm a longtime Razer fan, and to have a Razer themed computer is honestly a dream come true for me. Overall, I'm extremely happy with the parts I picked and how they turned out. As with every piece of content you put out, there will always be people saying things like, you did it wrong, or you should have got this or that, but at the end of the day, if you're happy, that's all that matters. So to address the thumbnail of this video, why didn't I get a 4090? I could tell you that I got a crazy good deal or I waited until the right moment, but that's just not true. In reality, I bought this card a month after it released for $3,000, and I still don't regret it. That kind of money could get me a 4090 now, but sitting in my college room getting 50 FPS on Apex and talking to my friends about buying a GPU in 2 years when the prices calm down, I realized that I was getting a GPU to game, not to say I got it for a good price. It's been 2 years, and to buy this card secondhand now, it's gonna cost me about $2 to $2.5 grand. Yeah, it's $1,000 difference, but for 2 years, I got to play thousands of hours on a card that gives me over 200 FPS on most games.
I got this.
I didn't realize it at the time, but thanks to this GPU, I was actually able to get into a lot of hobbies of mine that I'd lost touch with. Having the ability to edit and produce videos with little to no lag and full resolution timeline scrubbing meant that I was able to start producing more and more content. I love making videos, and as software got more demanding, my old GTX 1060 really struggled to keep up. I am more than happy with this 3080 Ti, and for a little bit of perspective for you, a lot of those friends that were waiting for GPU prices to come down are still waiting. I plan to clean up a lot of this with the cable mod braided cables. So, to wrap it up, you can keep waiting for a better price if you'd like, but I'm going to go enjoy my dream PC. I just wanted to say a thank you to everyone for the amazing amount of support I got on the first video. And a big thank you to all of you who decided it was good enough for a subscribe. If you're interested in watching some gaming content or streams, you can find my socials in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you next time.